Now, first of all, when you look back at last season, I know that maybe it didn't end the way that you guys had wanted, but I mean, what are your biggest takeaways from what you were able to do last year?
Yeah, well, we had a great year. I mean, we really did. You win 7 games in Class A football, you had a successful season. We had some guys that were 3-year starters that played for us this year that are going to move on. And for them to go out on losing that last game made it a little bit tough. But all in all, I really loved or enjoyed our season. Our guys had more fight, and we're as competitive as we've ever been. And being an offensive guy, I always think, we didn't play real well on offense, but, it's a team game, and defensively it was our best defense in school history. Gave up the fewest rushing yards per game and gave up the fewest points per game in a whole season. So all in all, it was a very successful year.
You guys went on a run after that Southeast loss. Do you think that kind of momentum, you guys coming together at that point, kind of is carried on to the offseason?
Yeah, I think each one of the guys kind of looked at each other in the eyes and kind of let that fuel the fire a little bit. We got one of our biggest wins in program history after that, going out to Grand Island and beating a team that played in the state championship game. We played really, really well out there. And really feel like at that point we could have beaten anybody or competed with anybody. And that's really helped these underclassmen, these younger guys getting ready for next year. Knowing that they don't want to, lose that last game of the year and win that last one, which, only happens if you get a title, I guess. But, I think we're moving in the right direction.
Okay. Now you're kind of breaking in a new quarterback last year. You got him returning, though, Lakin. I mean, tell me a little bit about, what he's brought to the team and what his offseason has been like.
Yeah, well, Lakin's a baseball player, and which helps us a little bit on our RPO stuff. He can throw unorthodox and get the ball and deliver it where he needs to. He's doing a quarterback academy right now with our quarterback coach. No guarantee he's going to be the man. He's going to have to compete every day. We got a couple other guys that are going to push him for time. But he's having a great offseason. He's getting a lot stronger, squatting hard, hand cleaning hard, throwing the ball quite a bit. Pro agility and 40 times are getting better, so should be exciting.
I think you get out of a season what you put into it. So if you have a team that believes in each other and everyone works hard together, you can get a string of wins going like we had. But for me personally, I just loved having the experience under my belt, loved getting out there with the guys. I didn't know that I was going to have that opportunity at the beginning of the season, so it was kind of nice to get out there.
Now, what would you say your biggest strength is as a quarterback?
I think the guys respect me as a leader on this team, and I take that with pride. Like, I like being a leader, so.
Now, Dane is a guy that's played a lot of football for you. He was a two-way starter for you last year. A big kid, really big frame, a good athlete. I mean, what does he bring to the table for you, and what are you kind of looking forward to out of him next year?
Yeah, well, he's a guy that, we had to do what colleges do where they take their best athlete and move him to tackle. He's that for us. As a sophomore, he played tight end for us. We had to move him to tackle. He's got really good feet, catches the ball real well. I wish we could have some sets where he was, number 58 was eligible, but they don't let you do that in high school football here. So, but yeah, he's got a good combination of strength and speed, and love his work ethic. He's a no-nonsense guy, just plugs away and gets better every day.
I think that our win streak, it was pretty nice last year. We all, after that Southeast loss, we all came together and we just fought for each other. And then just the season as a whole, it just got better from there.
Have you heard anything, from college coaches on him?
Lots of interest. Just they love his length. He's got long arms and long legs, good feet. Everybody wants to see his first couple of weeks of senior year film and see what kind of, how much stronger he's gotten and quicker he's gotten. And, make sure he's got that confidence, because he's a kid that when he's confident, he's good, and every once in a while he gets his dauber down, and people maybe can beat him a time or two. So, he doesn't beat himself. He's a really good football player.
Okay. And then Drake is a kid who's been a 3-year starter for you, kind of the anchor on your offensive line. What does he bring to the table for you?
Yeah, well, as a sophomore, he started center for us every game, and this past year he started guard for us every game. He had to battle through a bunch of injuries this past year, so he proved to have some toughness. We're excited, for if he can be healthy to play some defense next year too. We're going to have a bunch of guys we can rotate in on that D line, which should keep us fresh and allow us to compete every play and not take any plays off. He wrestled this year, and I think that's a huge thing for him. His balance has gotten a lot better, and I think he's a little bit more determined even than he was last year. I think he knows what it takes to be nasty now, and maybe drive guys around a little bit harder.
Okay, and then you're gonna have one last senior here, Grant McKenzie. What does he mean to your team?
Well, I'll tell you what, we had a really good receiver 2 years ago, Justin Holm, and Grant reminds me a lot of Justin with one extra thing. He's a little bit stronger and a little bit more physical, but his catch radius is ridiculous. One-hand catches anywhere, and like I said, he's a very physical kid, runs good routes. Top end maybe won't take the top off of a defense, but he can throw back shoulder, we can throw low, throw high, he can go get it. He's a 6'4.5" kid probably. When he works hard, he's as good as anybody we've ever had at that receiver position.
Okay, that's saying quite a bit.
Saying a lot, yeah. Now he's obviously a different player than Brandon Riley was. B-Ride run, he can take the top off of the D. So, but again, a different kind of matchup nightmare. You put two on him probably.
Just kind of your outlook on next season with what you have coming back and kind of how you're feeling with everybody right now.
Yeah, well, our defense coordinator's got his work cut out. We graduate all 11 defensive starters. Well, not truly, because we, as some injuries happened, we started a couple of guys. A ton of guys got playing time on defense, but we're really, we're really going to make those guys compete every day and earn everything. We're going to be a lot more physical at practice. We have to be, because there's going to be a lot of guys that are getting broke in that have never played. Now offensively, I think we're going to have a chance. We definitely better be better than last year. Sorry. We returned 4 offensive line starters, and we've got a guy we're going to plug in that I think is better, probably, or as good as those 4 that are returning. And then we got 2 running backs that are going to be studs. Our quarterback should be good. And then, we got to find a couple more receivers, but Grant will do a great job on the outside. So we're excited about next year. We're excited to get to work. We got spring coming up where the kids are all going to be doing soccer or track or baseball. But as soon as that's done, we're ready to grind it out in June.